How's it going today? Welcome to Lead a Life Uncommon. Today we're doing week three of our money series. And today we're talking about your business success equals self-care. And yet that language like self-care, it feels like it's so thrown around lately. So I want you to think instead of your business success is actually self-love. Why is that? Well, for the last 3 weeks, today being week 3, we've been really talking about money and you and how you making more money and having money that to do the things that you want to do and being financially independent, that's really an act of service to yourself. That's what we're talking about today. How are you taking care of yourself? How are you loving yourself? How are you creating a business that you're so thrilled and excited about that you really don't even think about retirement? Somebody the other day said to me, like, I just want to make enough money that I can retire. And I was like, that's kind of an old thought. That's really, to me, a limiting thought, a limiting concept. When we live in a world today that we can actually create a business that we love, that we want to jump out of bed for, that we can make all the money that we want to make, and we can actually work less. So that means if we're working less, even though we're doing work we love, then what are you going to be doing with that? More of that free time? Well, you're doing all the stuff that you might do when you retire. So why not do those things now? Right? Leading a life uncommon is not about waiting for things to happen. It's about having that uncommon experience of life. And you being the leader of your own life and your own business is what's required for you to have that. Right? It's so possible. It's so exciting to think about what's possible. Now, the reality is that the results that you have are created from all the thoughts that you've had, all the thoughts that led to the whatever feelings that led to your action or your behavior or your inaction. And so even having the concept of creating a business and having business success is actually an act of loving yourself. That's what we're going to look at today. Why is that? Because so often, clients come to me when they're fried, they're burnt out, they feel frustrated. They already have success. So on paper, oh my God, you look so good. Not only do you have all your degrees, years of experience, you have the trappings, if you will, of what society has said success looks like, right? Maybe you're known for something. Maybe you're making decent money. Maybe you've accomplished what quote you went to school for, right? So often people are like, oh my God, I went to school, I went to college, I still, and the thought of them recreating recreating something new is scary. Because in a sense, they feel like they have to throw the baby with the bathwater out. So today I want you really to consider that subtle tweaks are literally what could be the difference between your business success showing up like you really love yourself or your business success looking like the trappings of a dated, worn out view on what's success, which we don't need to grind and push. We have to change our thinking about hard work. So today, this is one of the things that we're going to talk about. I'll share what other episodes have been about at the end of this, so stick around for that. Okay. The question really starts out is, what if your business success is a true reflection of loving yourself more? So first of all, what does that even mean to you? What does that mean to you? Loving yourself, right? Love is a feeling, but it's also an action. So I want you to think about that. What are you doing in your business that's demonstrative of loving yourself? I'll give you a couple examples. These examples are from working with hundreds and hundreds of women all over the world for years, speaking on stages, working in huge companies to working with the solopreneur. It's really the same message. And most of it is related to um, grinding things out, that hard work, that super hustle. And most importantly, compromising yourself. Let me say it again. I want you to think about how you're showing up in your business, compromising yourself. And is compromising yourself an act of self love? No. So, what does that look like to compromise yourself? Well, it looks like you're not a brain surgeon. So, you're following me at all. You're a service based provider, you're a consultant, you're a coach, you're the face of your business. So, let's just put that on the table that none of you need to be working crazy long weekends. And so if a client asks you to do something that's outside the purview of your established business contract, proposal, or relationship, and you do it when perhaps this weekend is volleyball or soccer or the swim meet or yoga, the yoga class you've been dying to take with the best new instructor, or a book talk, or whatever it is, and you compromise yourself and you say yes to the client. And remember, that client, right? You're not a brain surgeon, so that client, and nothing's going to happen to that client. They can wait. Have you compromised yourself with your compromising your boundaries? We looked at this a little bit last week when we were talking about financial dependence versus financial independence. And do you compromise what you want, even if you're the primary breadwinner or even the equal breadwinner? Do you compromise what you want, right, for your male partner? That patriarch bullshit. So it's very similar here when we're compromising ourselves for our clients. Now, let me say, I'm not talking about not providing excellence for our clients, right? We want to really evaluate the excellent service that we're giving to people. There's a difference between having a boundary of I'm not working all the time, I'm not working on the weekend. If something more is required, then we will renegotiate the contract or add an addendum to it or something like that. That is a boundary. So that's not a compromise, right? When you're renegotiating something or you're reestablishing the expectations. It's a compromise when you say yes when you don't want to say yes, or when you say yes out of fear that the client's going to be dissatisfied or leave. Part of that fear comes from, oh my God, how am I going to get another client? That thought, oh my God, how am I going to get another client, is not serving you. That's not a self-love talk. Like, instead, here, borrow this from me. Like, there's clients everywhere. Clients love to pay me. Clients get amazing results. Client respect my boundaries. I respect my boundaries no matter how much I may want to. Here's the thing. You may really want to do the work. I'm not disputing that. I love my business too. I love working with my clients. They're fantastic. It's fun for me on many levels doing the service work with people. It's when you're doing it from a place of fear, from a place of, quote, have to, when you're giving in, when you know in your soul, in your gut, you don't need to, and that it's tainting, if you will. It's tainting the relationship. When you start compromising and you take on a client that you don't want to take on or isn't in your list of your perfect ideal client, I want you to really think about who is your best client. And if you had 100 of them lined up, credit card jumping for joy, you're able to create that. That's part of business success in my world. And I talked about this in one of the other episodes recently. It's like, one of the things we think about when we think about business success, we think about how much money I make and how well known I am and how many hours are I. And yet we forget that part of business success is, who am I being as that woman, and being a woman who sets boundaries, being a woman who has that self-love. And see, when you show up from that perspective, then you can disassociate your value as a person. So you can get out of that fear. Oh my God, I've got to, continue to work with this person because, as opposed to clip it and let it go. There's more clients out there. Clip that client, fire the client if it's a problem. That drain on you will affect you in every other area of your life, as opposed to clean cut, bless and release, as they say, right? So it allows you to disassociate, to differentiate between your quote value as a human being and your value as your business offer. See, the other thing too is when we're talking about money, this Money and You series, when you're really loving yourself, you're able to acknowledge your successes. You're able to acknowledge at a different level your wisdom, your experience, your knowledge, and you are very assured to yourself about the value of that transformation that you're offering your clients, or that solution, or that result, or that outcome or benefit. And when you respect and have enough self-love, you're willing to be paid accordingly. You're willing and open to receive accordingly. The value of your business offer for your client's transformation is what you look at. Not comparing to what other people are charging, none of that. And when you're well paid, when you don't compromise and like discount yourself or lower the bar at all around your money, and the reciprocity, the exchange for that transformation, when you do that, when you stay true to that, guess what? You love your business more. So your business success and your self-love, it starts working together because you're enjoying your business. You feel respected. You know why? Because you're respecting yourself. And when you respect yourself, then of course you're attracting clients to you that will respect you. You're attracting clients to you that will value you. There's that old saying, you teach your kids like we teach people how to treat us. It's the same in business. Now, granted, there's clients that are going to push your boundaries. They're going to attempt to. That doesn't mean you fold, right? When you're solid on your deliverable and what you offer, and you stay true to that, both of you understand what's expected, what the dynamic is. Now, again, this is not about never like going outside of the purview of your relationship. It's the intent behind it. Here's the other thing too, is like clients want the transformation. They don't, in reality, they don't need a lot. Like when you have a client who's applying what you're working with them, to me, part of an excellent client, like really my best clients, they don't want and need a lot of like hand holding. There's not a lot of angst going on. So your income, your pricing, your offer, and building that business success about doing something that you love. Like, what is the meaning of your work? What is that calling? Or are you just punching the clock? Have you built something and you're looking at it now like, oh my God, there's that saying, be careful, like that you don't put the ladder up against the wrong wall. And then you get to the top of the ladder and you're looking over and you're like, holy shit, this is not what I wanted. This happens a lot, right? Where we create things from a place of like, just got to crank it out, just a lot of hard work, just got to make tons of money, which of course this is money in you. So I'm all about you making a ton of money. And I want to offer to you that you can have meaning and money. Here's a question for you. And this is a question that you can have in all areas of your life. Today, we're really talking about business, but how can you love yourself more today? When I talk about my morning journal time, my morning mindset time, when I walk through the results formula, I'm a cognitive behaviorist. I'm a cognitive behavioral coach, if you will, with my clients. As a success coach, a life coach, a business coach, I really help them think about what the situation is. What are your thoughts about it? How do you create intentional thoughts about the result that you want to create so that you have that feeling that causes your behavior to move forward toward achievement of that result or goal? So, how can you love yourself more today by actually sitting down and taking time to think these things through? Where do you say yes when you want to say no? Where do you say no when you want to say yes? There's no badge of honor working all the time in the evening or all weekend. And of course, there's times that you're going to do that. That's just part of owning your own business, right? But how can I love myself more inside my business today? How can I love myself more around my time? So frequently, we conflate business success with hard work and working all the time. I want to offer to you that when you learn the skill of doing the correct work the right way, instead of doing all the work, all this work the right way, but it's the wrong work. What does that look like for you with time today? And how do you handle if you have a day where you haven't been taking care of yourself, when you have overdone it, when you have compromised yourself? What's that negative talk inside your own head, right? That negative talk not only hurts you, it impacts your business, it impacts your relationships. And sometimes the truth is those negative thoughts get so habituated. That's when you stand back and you're like, holy shit, what did I create? It's not what I wanted. I want to offer that, this is something that's you can transform. This is something that you can change. You can change how you're showing up. You can change what you're thinking. You can evolve into this future self of this person, this woman that you see that doesn't have to have negative talk all the time, or you can quickly move out of it. When you're doubting yourself, when you're holding yourself back through this negative talk, when you're sabotaging opportunities, we know that's not self-love. We would never, ever talk to other people like we talk to ourselves. We would never talk to our children like we talk to ourselves. And we have to remember that our negative self-talk creates that funk feeling inside, right? It feels bad. And when we feel bad, we're not doing the work that leads to true business success. Right? In fact, it's like overworking, workaholic, burnout, that hustle energy. And sometimes, look, I like a little hustle energy. I like the grind. I like to be in machine mode. That's what I call it. I love those moments. That's to me like that flow, like doing it, like I'm on fire. I'm like loving life. That's different than, oh my God, I got to do this, or I'm looking at my calendar. I can't stand who's showing up. I've created a business like that before, and it's shitty. Being bold enough to lead a life on comments means, as you know, I've said this so many times, that you're the leader of your life. And leaders, we are thoughtful and we are compassionate and we are committed to the bigger picture and the results. Are you committed to your bigger picture and results? Are you firm with yourself with loving compassion? In the last episode, we talked about the yes and. So I'm going to play with that a little bit today. Today, I'm going to ask you, how can you say, yes, I love myself and I can accomplish big things without burnout? How can I say, yes, my rate is going up and my clients love to pay me? Like, you can say that. Say it out loud. Say it right now with me. Ready? Yes, my rate's going up and my clients love to pay me. Yes, I love myself and I can do hard things. Because you know what? When you're up leveling, when you're next leveling yourself, when you're striving to be in the uncommon space of the few who choose it, at first it's hard. Sometimes business is hard. It's only easier after you've worked through a lot of the mindset drama. And then that hard thing now becomes a thing that you know how to do. And therefore it is easy. Let me say that again. There's a lot of things that are hard work. So this isn't about shirking hard work and making it all easy. The truth of the matter is when you're doing something new, it probably feels hard until it doesn't, until you've mastered it, until you've gotten better at it and it gets easier and easier. Yes, I do new things and I'm a woman who follows through. Yes, I set my schedule and I get what needs to be done. Remember that saying that it's the Pareto Principle. Your work expands to the time allotted. One of the things that I work on around time management, right? It's not just time management. It's really mind management. It's doing the right things right. Not all the things right, because all the things aren't needed, by the way. So yes, I set my schedule. And do you hold to that schedule? Look, I have a business out of my house. So it's really easy for me just to walk right into my office. And I have had to work at, and it was hard, work at being committed to making sure that I don't come back in here on the weekend. I'm not saying I never do, but the majority of time I never work on the weekend. The majority of time I work 3 days a week. In the summer, I like to work 4 mornings a week, and then I'm done for the afternoon. So I've learned my hard work and not compromising is focused on doing the right things right. That's self-love to me, because you know what I don't like? I don't know about you, but when I'm hustling and I'm missing out and I feel exhausted and I feel burnt out and I miss out on being a hands-on mama, or I miss out on like going to the lake or going kayaking or doing things, frankly, that would cause me to look back on life and feel like I missed out. That is hell for me. That's regret. You know, I used to have my brand called The Regret Proof Life, and I realized that we just focus so much on regret when in reality, I want you to have, you instead to lead a life uncommon. And part of leading a life uncommon, I believe so strongly, is doing the things that don't cause us to regret. There were so many times, you guys, that I worked, and I felt terrible that I missed out. Although I was a hands-on mama and I was a school mom for, all the way from pre-K up until River hit middle school, there were times that I missed out. And it's not that there are times that you don't. Of course, there's going to be times, and when you're building a business, that you might miss some things. Here's the thing. This concept of loving myself enough to incorporate that construct in my mind equals business success would have allowed me back then to not compromise my schedule, to not over deliver, and to not burn out. And it would have allowed me to really redefine what hard work looks like. And it would allow me to get to the point where, like, there's plenty of shit I just don't do anymore. I don't need to do them. Actually, they're not even a requirement inside my business. This is one of the things I talk about really a lot with clients. And we dig very deep into that in the 5% Club Mastermind. This concept, the MADE formula. Like, I know everything's formula, the results formula, the fear breakthrough formula. It's like, because I want you to think about it is a specific protocol or process or formula. And it really starts looking at what is not needed. Because you doing those things that are not needed in your business is not an act of self-love. So, what do you need to do today to work on your mindset? I want to give you a couple thoughts to borrow. Here are some of your bold action steps so that you can lead a life uncommon. What if you ask the question, what if my business success is a true reflection of how much I love myself? And that might trigger a question. The question could start with, like, what does it even mean to love myself? What are the actions I'm doing to show I love myself? Where am I saying yes when I want to say yes? Where am I saying no when no is the thing that needs to be said? What does your time look like? What does your pricing look like? So until next week, I dig around with those thoughts. Start tracking yourself. Start tracking yourself when you're feeling burnt out. Sit back and be honest and ask yourself, am I doing something that's compromising my self-love? Am I doing something that's literally going against my core values? One of the things I teach in with all clients is how can we really connect with our core values and make sure we're building a business that's founded on those core values? Because look, then it becomes easier to market. Then it becomes easier to have that boundary with clients. There's so much more I'm looking forward to talking to you about in this Money in You series. Next week, we're going to talk about writing your own money story. Episode, I believe it was episode 23 was talking, or excuse me, 73 was talking all about financial independence versus dependence and how are you caught up in a patriarchal relationship when the majority of women today are making the same amount of money as their partner or more. Episode 72 was really all about abundance and prosperity. Love to hear what you think. Go grab the guide, the guide to your hidden thoughts around money and success. The guide to your hidden thoughts around money and success. I see that I spelt it. I did it out of order. If you're watching this on a video, let me do this. Let me fix that right now. The guide to your hidden thoughts around money and success. Go to marybicknell.com/gift and dig a little deeper on what you're thinking. Get ready for next week, week number 4 in Money and You, where you get to write your own money story. Look, I'm going to give you a little quiz. I'm going to really push you. I'm going to talk about all the things. Make it a great day. And remember, you get to create a business that you love. And by you creating a business that you love, that is an act of self-love. You get to create a business that is exciting to you, that pays you well, that allows you to work when you want to work and take off when you want to take off. And that it's your purpose, your mission, your calling, so that you feel excited and that maybe instead of wishing for retirement or hump day or thank God it's Friday, that you just love every day. Talk to you soon.